Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking on my channel. Today's holiday glam is starting off with my Morphe 35K palette, and I'm using this white shade right here to set the concealer that I already put on my eye and act as a transition color, which I immediately regretted because I didn't realize that it had a shimmer in it. So I'm using this rust colored shadow next, which is a matte eyeshadow. So matte on top of shimmer doesn't exactly work out well, but it was okay in the end, just not perfect. And I'm using this just all the way in my crease from outer corner all the way to the inner corner. And to cut the lid, I'm just using some concealer on a flat shader brush and just cutting the lid. And while that's still tacky, I'm grabbing this champagne gold color and I'm tapping it right over top of that concealer. I wanted to warm up the crease a little bit, so I moved over to my 35O palette and I'm grabbing this peachy orange shade just so that I can bring a little bit more warmth and orange color to my crease. For eyeliner today, I'm using the Ico I Do Liquid Liner, which is a waterproof eyeliner, and I've really been loving this one lately as opposed to my Kat Von D tattoo liner. That one has a little more of a glossy finish. This one is a little more matte, so it just kind of depends on the look that you're going for. So I used this one to do the entire wing, and then for the very tip I did switch over to my Kat Von D tattoo liner just because it's a little bit thinner and it gave me kind of that perfect thin end on my wing. And then to prep for falsies, I'm just curling my lashes and coating them with some mascara. Any mascara will do. And these are the Blinking Beaut #1 lashes. I've been obsessing over these lately. They're so beautiful, but still wispy enough that you can see all of the eyeshadow work that you've done. But they're just really gorgeous. I love them so much. And this is partially the finished eye look. We'll come back and finish the lower lash line in a minute. To prime my face, I'm using the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Primer. I like to use this one when I'm using a very matte foundation, just to give my skin a very luminous look. And I'm using my Ride or Die all-time favorite foundation, which is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, and I'm just mixing two colors together, 101 and 102, to get my perfect match. This foundation dries down to like a powdery finish, so it doesn't move throughout the day, and as you can see, the coverage is just amazing. It covers up all of my freckles and redness. It's my favorite. It's got good coverage and it lasts all day. It is like my go-to when I know I need my foundation to just come through for me. This one always comes through for me. For concealer, I'm using the Naked Skin by Urban Decay, and this one also, similar to the foundation, kind of dries down to a matte finish. So if you're kind of an oily skin girl like me, this concealer in combination with this foundation is perfect. It will not let your oils budge. It will not come through your foundation. This will keep everything sealed all day long. So I just kind of mixed two colors there to balance out the lightness of that first concealer that I put on, but they're both the Urban Decay concealers. And I'm just blending that out with the same sponge that I put my foundation on with. And then I just want to set that concealer very lightly using my RCMA No Color Powder. Because the foundation and the concealer both kind of dry down to a powdery finish, I don't need a lot of powder, but just a little bit to keep everything from creasing. So I just flip my sponge over, and while it's still damp, I use that sponge to put on the powder, and it just helps it to melt into my skin and look absolutely flawless. For contour, I'm using my NYX HD blush in taupe on a small setting brush by Real Techniques, just to lay down the base of my contour and really get it placed where I want it to be. And then I'm going to blend it out using my Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula in a larger brush. This one's by Morphe. So I'm just using my bronzer as a way to blend out my contour. And I'm also going to use that bronzer on my jawline and blend it down my neck as well. I also want to bring just a little bit of natural shadow and shape to my nose, so I'm just going to lightly go around the edges of my nose. For my powder highlight today, I'm using the Mary Luminizer by The Balm, which is kind of a gold tinted highlight, so I wanted to accent the gold in my eyeshadow. And I'm switching over to just a smaller, more precise brush to get my Cupid's bow and to get the tip and the bridge of my nose. I'm also going to use the same brush to highlight my brow bone, and then later I'm going to come back and do the inner corner of my eye with the same one. I just forgot to do it at this moment. And for blush today, I'm using my Milani Baked Blush in the color Luminoso and just lightly dusting that on my cheeks. And then I'm going back into that 35K palette using that rust color to smoke out the lower lash line before using the Rimmel Nude eyeliner. This is a waterproof eyeliner from Rimmel. And then coating my bottom lashes with mascara. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Superstar mascara, and one side is a primer and then the other side is the actual mascara, so it really adds a lot of length and volume to my lower lash line, which helps to balance out my upper lash line. And here I'm just highlighting the inner corner with that Mary Luminizer. And this is the finished eye look. For lips today, I am using a mix of two NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream shades. The first one here is Copenhagen, and I'm just putting that in the outer corner of my lips. And then I'm going to be just filling in the center of my lips with that lighter color Monte Carlo. And this is going to create a really pretty ombre effect. So this looks really pink when you first put it on, this color Monte Carlo, but as it starts to dry down and you add layers, that's when the red pigment really comes out. So I'm kind of going back and forth between Monte Carlo and then going back to that shade Copenhagen in the outer corner, just to make sure that I get the pigment from both colors that I want and to make sure that everything is just really well blended together. And to set everything and to make sure that my face doesn't have a powdery finish, I'm using the Pixi by Petra Hydrating Milky Mist. And this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. For a list of all the products that I use, please check out the description box below. And as always, I hope you have a fantastic day.